Zah, Boxing Nation, where boxing lives, breathes, and breaks down. The heavyweight division just flipped on its head. Fabio Wardley did what most thought he couldn't. Admittedly, even myself, stopping former world champion Joseph Parker and earning a direct shot at Oleksandr Usyk. At the same time, the sport's global attention is shifting to Saudi Arabia, where Devin the Dream Haney versus Brian Norman Jr. and David Benavidez versus Anthony Yarde will be putting on blockbuster cards in November. And then for your favorite segment, on this day in boxing history, let's break this all down. Fabio Wardley, who is now 20 wins, 0 losses, 1 draw, 18 big wins coming by way of knockout, delivered the performance of his life, stopping Joseph Parker, who is now 36 wins, 4 losses, and 24 big wins coming by way of knockout. In front of the O2 Arena in London. From opening bell, Joseph Parker's game plan was clear. Keep Wardley turning and work the jab and use his experience and control the tempo and distance. I noticed that Usyk does this really, really well. He has extremely good distance and timing. This was something that Fabio Wardley was struggling with in the fight against Joseph Parker. And if he doesn't fix it in camp, then he's gonna, suffer in the fight with Oleksandr Usyk. But for the first half of the fight, it worked. Joseph Parker landed crisp counters and limited Wardley's output. But Fabio Wardley didn't panic. He kept investing into the body, closing the distance, and making Parker uncomfortable. By the 8th round, Joseph Parker's movement slowed down, and Wardley began to unload with heavy artillery. In round 11, a brutal sequence of uppercuts and right hands forced the referee to intervene in the fight. This was a massive TKO victory for Fabio Wardley. This wasn't just a win, it was a statement. Fabio Wardley proved that he's not just a domestic contender. He's world level and dangerous late in fights. His composure, stamina, and ability to adapt under pressure showed he's a real problem for any heavyweight, even at the elite level. And the reward, immediate elevation to the biggest opportunity of his career, a fight against Oleksandr Usyk, the reigning unified heavyweight champion. That fight is likely going to happen in early 2026. That matchup, you're going to see raw power versus pressure against elite movement and precision. Fabio Wardley's power can change any fight, but Oleksandr Usyk's ring IQ, angles, and conditioning are among the best in boxing. Still, Fabio Wardley's rise has injected fresh life into the heavyweight division. He's now one fight away from possibly becoming world champion. Fabio Wardley said post-fight, "People said I wasn't ready, and I just stopped a former champion. Let's see if Oleksandr Usyk can handle the pressure." With that type of confidence, that's what makes this next fight must-see TV. Let me know what you guys think about this fight in the comments below. Fabio Wardley versus Joseph Parker at the O2 Arena in London. Tremendous job, Fabio Wardley. This next fight takes us to Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, where Devin the Dream Haney, who is 32 wins, 0 losses, and 15 big wins coming by way of knockout, versus Brian Norman Jr., who is 28 wins, 0 losses, 22 big wins coming by way of knockout. This is an intriguing matchup. Brian Norman Jr. is young, hungry, and explosive with legitimate knockout power. Devin the Dream Haney, meanwhile, continues to chase greatness, testing himself against bigger and more dangerous fighters. Devin the Dream Haney is now stepping into 147 pounds, where Brian Norman Jr. has made his name. Saudi Arabia, once again, is becoming the new global hub for elite boxing. And this fight is part of that momentum. Stylistically, Devin the Dream Haney will look to control the range, keep the jab snapping, and outbox Brian Norman Jr. with surgical precision. But Brian Norman Jr., he has the youth and explosiveness to make this a real fire fight. If he can cut off the ring and force Devin the Dream Haney into exchanges, I can see him to be successful. If he's lackadaisical in his approach and doesn't, approach Devin the Dream Haney with the respect that he should, a champion fighter as well, then I believe it could be a long night because Devin the Dream Haney can box circles around this guy. Devin the Dream Haney may not have the most power, but we know he does have that boxing brain and ring IQ. This fight might be closer than people think. Brian Norman Jr.'s power and confidence are dangerous for anyone. But Devin the Dream Haney's defense and IQ remain elite. Expect fireworks and expect Saudi Arabia to deliver another big fight spectacle. Let me know what you guys think about this fight in the comments below. Devin the Dream Haney versus Brian Norman Jr. in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia in November. Also confirmed for November, David Benavidez, his third fight at 175 pounds against Anthony Yarde. This is David Benavidez's chance to prove that even his power translates to the most elite fighters at light heavyweight. And David Benavidez finally moved up. This is his third fight once again at light heavyweight, and he's facing one of the most elite guys in the division, and that being Anthony Yarde, who's coming off strong performances and still possesses one of the division's best offensive arsenals. He may still fade late in fights, but he's still such a tremendous fighter. David Benavidez is 30 wins, 0 losses, 24 big wins coming by way of knockout, and is known for his relentless pressure and volume punching. Anthony Yarde, 27 wins, 3 losses, 2 draws, and 24 big wins coming by way of knockout, and is known for his relentless pressure. Anthony Yarde is known for his counterpunching ability, his explosiveness, his athleticism. This fight is going to be all action. Anthony Yarde thrives when exchanges break out, and David Benavidez never takes a step backwards. Expect a mid-range shootout with massive implications. The winner likely gets a title shot against either Arthur Beterbiev or Dmitry Bivol in early 2026. Saudi Arabia is assembling one of the most stacked November lineups we've seen in years. Between David Benavidez and Devin the Dream Haney and all of these other massive cards that we keep getting from Saudi Arabia, boxing's momentum is global, and the year is closing strong. Let me know what you guys think about that in the comments below. David Benavidez versus Anthony Yarde in November in Saudi Arabia. And now for your favorite segment, On This Day in Boxing History. October 25th, 1990, Evander the Real Deal Holyfield became the undisputed heavyweight champion by stopping James Buster Douglas in just the third round. Douglas had shocked the world earlier that year by defeating Mike Tyson, but Holyfield came in focused and sharp, and perfectly timed right hand in round 3 dropped Buster Douglas, and the fight was waved off. With that, Holyfield captured the WBA, WBC, and IBF titles. This fight is remembered as a defining moment in heavyweight history. A reminder that on this day, careers can change forever. It's fitting that on the same date, 35 years later, a new heavyweight star, Fabio Wardley, makes his mark by stopping Joseph Parker and stepping into the world title conversation. But that wraps up my segments for today. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and turn on post notifications so you never miss out on an update. But this is ZA Boxing Nation, where champions get analyzed and legends are made. And if you're new here, keep your hands up, and I'll catch you in the next one.